you have an idea of what our Spanish classroom looks like, I'd like to walk you through some of the topics that our Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 students will be learning this year. Spanish 1 is an introduction to the basics, so some highlights include numbers, letters. We've already done greetings, classroom vocab and commands, expressing different weather expressions, food and restaurant vocab, and family vocab. Spanish 2 is a continuation of Spanish 1. Some highlights include shopping for clothing, celebrations, daily routine with reflexive verbs, and different pastimes that kids used to do when they were little. In Spanish 1, we cover the present tense as well as some of the basics. In Spanish 2, we cover the grammar that students learned last year, and we add on to that with the 2 past tenses as well as some other topics. In both classes, of course, we also focus on reading, writing, speaking, listening, and culture. Supplies that students need for class include something to write with, something to write on, and some way to keep their handouts and papers organized, as well as their workbook pages. The workbooks are quite heavy, so since the workbooks are theirs to keep, they may rip out just the pages that pertain to our current chapter and just bring those to class instead of the whole book if they desire. Our grading policy is standard for St. Johns County, so my formatives include any classwork or homework assignments that I might grade, quizzes, and sometimes performance tasks. In Spanish 1, we've already done some listening and speaking performance tasks in coordination with quizzes. And summatives include tests and perhaps projects depending on how COVID treats us this year. When students walk into my classroom, they see this agenda on the front screen. It lets them know the focus for the day, if they had homework last night, the topics, or the activities for class that day, and if there's homework that night. And then on the right-hand side, I try my best to project what we'll be doing in the days to come. Now I would like to walk you through some of our online resources, including my Schoology page, our online textbook, and a really wonderful online dictionary. When students come to my Schoology page, it automatically takes them to materials. And as the year goes on, you're going to see different folders. Right now, we're in the Para Empezar chapter, but after we're done with this chapter, we'll have chapter 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, so on and so forth. So if they click on the chapter, you will see that there's already a lot of resources here, including vocab lists, PowerPoints, Quizlet links, and the green puzzle pieces are generally graded assignments through this Schoology platform. If you come to updates, this is to help students who are at home wondering if there's any homework that night, but also, most importantly, for students who are absent so that they can stay on top of their assignments. Every day, I write a summary of what we did in class. And if there was a handout or a PowerPoint or even a video link that we used, I will include all of those as attachments. And if we do an activity that we go over in class, such as this crossword puzzle that we did on Tuesday, the answers will usually be on the second page. So that way, if students are home, they can get caught up and get immediate feedback. If students are absent, please direct them to this message feature and remind them to message me for an appointment to make up any quizzes or tests that they might have missed while they were absent. Something to the effect of, this is Jimmy Jones from first period. I missed the body parts vocab quiz on Thursday. Are you available one morning this week to make it up? Something to that effect. And I will schedule an appointment with them. Our textbook lives in the classroom this year, but students do have access to it online. So if they come to the high school's links for students page and come here to the computer icon, it says online textbooks. Obviously, they go to high school, scroll down to world languages, and I'll show you the Spanish 1 textbook. Underneath their Spanish class, you will see the textbook. Some of their math classes might be populated here as well. And if there are any online textbook activities that I've assigned, they will show up here. However, if they're just looking to browse the textbook, they want to come over here to My Programs, click on the textbook, go to eText, click on the textbook again, and then come over to the menu and the table of contents. Unfortunately, you can't just simply type in a page number. You do have to know what chapter you're in and what topic you're covering. So again, right now we're in Para Empezar, and we're in the first section. So let's pretend that the student wants to get a head start on body parts vocab. They'll come here to El Cuerpo. Oops. And this is what the page looks like in their actual textbook, where it introduces the vocab to the students. It gives all of the vocab words, and then it also has some interactive activities. In this case, there's a listening activity. What I love most about this, though, is that anytime you see a word or a phrase underlined in blue font, that means it's a hyperlink. So if they're not sure how to pronounce the word for eye, they can click on it.
El ojo.
And it will pronounce them for them, or expressions as well.
Ay, me duele.
So this is a really wonderful resource, especially for my students who are brand new to Spanish. So that's a quick snapshot of our Schoology page and our online textbook. I want to end with the online dictionary I mentioned. Please reassure our students if you see them on Google Translate that that's not the appropriate tool to be using. The English words or phrases that they might type into Google Translate might be their own, but what Google Translate spits out in return is not their own Spanish work. Please remind them that they are only in Spanish 1 or Spanish 2. It's not Spanish 12, and I cannot ask them to communicate anything in Spanish that we have not yet taught them. However, in the event if they do need to look up, one word, this is where they want to come, wordreference.com, and I'll show you why. If you type in BOW into Google Translate, it's just going to spit out whatever it thinks is the most popular word. If you use this tool, you can see it actually is an online dictionary. It tells the student part of speech, whether it's a verb or a noun, and it also uses the word in context. So for example, this is like to take a bow where you lean forward, whereas this is a bow and arrow, whereas this is a decorative hair ribbon. And this is the bow of a ship. So please, if you see them on Google Translate, redirect them and remind them that the Google Translate version of Spanish is not their own work. So that covers our class. We have oriented you to our classroom, gone over some topics for this year, gone over grading, and hopefully you're a little bit more familiar with our online resources now. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please reach out to me via email, and I look forward to working with our students this year. Hasta luego.